Yeah, Dope Dealer Podcast. It's going down.
Oh, yeah.
You know what it is. It's the world's most dangerous podcast.
Dope Dealers Podcast.
Episode 55.
Double nickels.
Yeah, who was that? Who number was 55? Who was? That's a linebacker
Junior
number.
Seau.
Junior Seau, yeah. Junior Seau. That's what's up. It's going down. Episode 55. We here. Dope Dealer Podcast. Love to everybody out here listening to us. It's your man Jamal Doman at Jamal Doman.
Tobe Hixx at Tobe Hixx.
It's going down, man. We out here in LA. It's a little chilly out here, but we holding it down, man. Shout out to everybody out there, the troops. You know how we do.
Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, National Guard, Coast Guard, the Bloods, and the Crips.
Yes, sir, man. We do it for you guys. Shout out to all the soldiers serving overseas. We do this for you guys, man, and you guys get nothing but love for us, man. It's going down. What's happening, Tobe Hixx?
Oh, man, I'm just glad to be here. You said cold, man. We can't say cold, man, because back home, I talked to my grandmother last night. She said it was just 13 below zero. That was the high.
You're right.
People couldn't even go outside. It was so cold.
Yeah, I think it was a snowstorm going on the East Coast. They've been getting hit a lot, man. I know.
You listening out there? Tornadoes down in Alabama.
Yeah.
I was just down in Alabama a couple of weeks ago, so headed to hear about the tornadoes down there. My condolences to the families down there that lost their loved ones and the devastation. It just looked awful, and they didn't have a warning. So
yeah, man. Oh yeah,
hope everything be all right for y'all down there.
Our blessings out to them. Well, Trump gonna take care of them. That's Alabama. That's a red state. So and he already said give them the A-star treatment. He said we giving Alabama the A-star treatment. They said, motherfucker, you ain't say that about Puerto Rico and if it's a red state,
they still ain't got no water in Flint.
Yeah,
shit. And he talking about
red. Red states. He gonna show love to him, man. That's what's up, man. It's going down, man. Dope independent music. Y'all like that song opening up the show? That is my homie from North Philly. That is Jordan Banks. His second album is about to drop. That is his first single from the second album. It's called Running My Life, and it had the little Gap Band sample in it. He liked it.
Yeah.
He sampled the Gap Band, man. That's smart. Shout out to Jordan doing this thing, man, and please support that song. And, Dope independent music. If you got any type of music, send it to us. We'll play it. We'll open and close the show up with it. So, send it to us, man. We got a phone number you can call.
818-335-2065.
And of course, you can check us out on Twitter and Instagram at Dope Dealers. That's Dope Dealers with an S. Dope Dealers Podcast. Dope Dealers Podcast. Be on Instagram and IG, man. Tobe Hixx, we have a new review, man. We haven't had hey, you listening to this show, man, go to iTunes and leave us a good review, man.
That really helps us out a whole lot.
That really helps us out.
People say, hey, what can we do to help? Just subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Yes. And tell your friends, tell your family members, truck drivers, people who drive Uber when they don't have passengers in the car, shit like that.
For the gym, if you at the gym, you're doing long walks, hikes.
Just cleaning up your house. Yeah, this is
when you at work, you at a job, it's boring, just throw your earphones on.
Us talk shit and just still keep it moving about your day.
Yeah, man. Here's February 23rd. We got a new 5-star review. It's from Zom 40, ZOM 40. This is one hell of a good podcast. Hip hop heads, drug dealing, gangbanging, up and down. This is the best podcast ever, Sir 13. I don't know what that means. SUR 13. But shout out. We appreciate that. You know what that means? SUR 13.
Gang, yeah.
Oh, that's gang. Oh, so that's that Tobe. I don't know nothing about that, man. So So is that a blood? Is that blood? That's your little thing. Click. He said drug dealing, gangbanging. He must have heard the lives and times of Tobe Hixx. He must have heard.
That's a possibility. Episode 41 and 42, and more to come.
We still work. I know a lot of people hit us up about that last chapter, and we
I had somebody ask me I seen somebody at Ralph's, and they was like, Tobe, when you gonna tell some more about your life story? I was like, it's coming. I just want to make sure that because there's so much shit that happened. I just kind of want to make sure I'm a little more prepared as I put these stories out there because this is
because we want to get to the point of where you made the transition over to a comedian and stuff like that, man. So that's coming, man. Right? Yeah. Is that coming for the people?
Oh yeah.
So let's get right into it, man. The dope story of the week. We just gonna talk about this the whole show. We got a couple call-ins. They gonna call in. It's everybody's talking about your man Michael Jackson, the king of pop. or as some people say, the king who pops boys, little boys.
Man, who said that shit? There they go with that bullshit.
You know, it's a new documentary out called Leaving Neverland. It was HBO. It premiered on HBO 2 parts. It premiered on HBO Sunday. I think part 1 was Sunday and part 2 was Monday, or it might have been, part 2 was last night. And I watched both parts. And, of course, the whole internet is, you know, because Michael is such a legend and so loved by everybody. He's loved by me. I mean, everybody grew up on Michael Jackson. And it's, you know, and it's hard to, you know, sometimes, you know, look at your heroes in a certain way. I'll tell you this, Tobe. I watched, you know, obviously I watched. Now, this is nothing new. These allegations have followed Mike for 30 years. So, I mean, pretty much
Same
about 30
way they
years.
did R. Kelly.
Yeah, these allegations have followed him. I mean, he's been brought up on charges where he beat. We know about he settled out of court. There's a lot of NDAs out there with families and stuff like that. But this documentary kind of goes into detail. Because we know about Alec, but never really into detail like this documentary does. It follows really 2 boys who Michael befriended as kids and kind of befriended. And it tells you how they came to Michael and, you know, how Michael kind of groomed them and manipulated the family and kind of, did what he did with the boys, and just over years and years. And, you know, it's really deep. It's really serious. It's something that obviously in today's society, you know, we have to look at. Of course, we're in the Me Too movement now, so it's obviously more eyes and stuff, and everything is more serious now. But just off the top, I know you said you watched it, but you couldn't get through.
I watched some of it. I couldn't really stomach it because when I was watching it, the guys they looked like they was lying to me. But you know, who am I to say they are? I mean, what if they're telling the truth? And the fact that I couldn't tell, I had no idea, and they did this years after his death. The man is not alive to speak for himself.
Right.
And all of this shit. And then, to be honest, I just kind of got angry about it and thought to myself, you know, I just thought about R. Kelly's documentary, then Michael's. And I was like, well, where are the white documentaries of the molesters and predators?
Right.
Where they documentaries at?
Harvey Weinstein.
Where they at?
Woody Allen, I guess you could say.
What do you mean you guess you could say? Yeah, you can say.
Yeah, I mean, but it's, I mean,
where's
you know,
this
some
documentary?
people,
I mean, they've been alleged for doing this, crimes for 20, 30 years too. And all of a sudden, you know.
But Woody Allen married his adopted daughter, so some people can kind of be like, I know, to me and you, that's weird. It's all outdoors, but some people can say, well, he got her when he was adult. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, and that wasn't the only one he was messing with that was underage. It wasn't just the one that he married. But I don't know, and I hated to take it to that attitude, but I just I did get angry. I said, man, Mr. Cosby's already locked up. Okay. Right. If he did what he did, he deserved to be locked up. But it has nothing to do with that. But he's locked up. R. Kelly's situation is already out there. Then you come with Michael Jackson. I mean, who's next? It seemed like we just coming right with him. And I just couldn't tell if those kids were lying. And it's like, and you start to blame their parents. And
you definitely blame the parents. Even the boy from Australia, his story was, you know, I didn't need this documentary to know that Michael Jackson messed with little boys. It was just too much.
What do you mean to know? So in your heart and mind,
I really believe. Yes, I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire. Like, come on, man. We'll get as this hour we'll get more. We get more into it. But I didn't need the documentary to know that it was something weird about. First thing, a 35-year-old man should not be having sleepovers. Even let's say he's no touching, nothing. Still, you're a 35-year-old man. You should not be having sleepovers with little boys. That's just anybody. That's just normal. Yeah. Like so you know what I mean. I forgot my train. I was going to. I forgot my train of thought. I'll get back into it. But like I said, I didn't need the documentary. Yeah, I didn't need the irony, you know. But the documentary really. Here's why I was talking about the Australian family, the Wade kid, and we're going to get into him because there's a lot of criticism, but. Just how, you know, his story of how it happened, you know, how, you know, Michael meeting them in Australia, they came over to America do something because Wade was like a Michael Jackson impersonator. He was like a little phenom in Australia. He did Michael Jackson. So they came to America because he got part of this dance company in Australia was sending them to Disney World, the dance. And somehow when they came to America, they got in touch with Michael Jackson, who kind of remembered them from Australia, and he invited them to L.A., and that's where it all started. He invited them to L.A., and just the whole story from, because the mother is and that's what the documentary, the mother is part of this too. She's guilty in this, and she talks about it and like she feels horrible. I can understand, because there was one point when they first met Mike, when Mike got him to LA and, he hung out with him. And of course, this is Michael Jackson. People, R. Kelly, when we say, this is about celebrity too, how, we worship celebrities. Like R. Kelly, you'd be like, how you leave your girl? And you think, okay, it's R. Kelly. I can kind of see he's a celebrity, so you can kind of be duped. Now just think of Michael Jackson is 10 times bigger than R. Kelly. So imagine this Australian family don't know shit. They from Australia. They don't know. They just little kid is just a Michael Jackson. And now this is like 89, 90. This when Mike was,
at his height. Yeah.
At his height. They're in the room with Michael Jackson. Like, you know what I mean? He could have told the wife, take your clothes off and give me hair right in front of your family. She might have did it because, you know what I mean? It's Michael Jackson. So, and you kind of see that too. They break it all down. And when he invited them to, when they first came out to L.A., he brought them to Neverland, and they, he was like, watch y'all want to spend the night? Now, this is the whole family. The father is there too, the mother, I think the grandma even came. The grandmother was there, the father's mother. And he had an older sister and a little boy too. But Mike's eyes was on a little boy. So they
Hold on, wait, you saying his eyes was?
I mean, when you tell a story, how he manipulated to get time with this boy. So they over Michael Jackson, they over in the Neverland, they sleeping and Mike told the mother. Mike said, that he had the main bedroom, but then he had a little bedroom upstairs. So he told the mother, y'all want to stay in the guest house and Wade and the older sister, they can sleep. And the mother agreed. Was like, I ain't think nothing of, because she think the daughter, the oldest sister, is there. So I'm not thinking anything.
That's what
the mother.
Who lets their kids? They both the son and the daughter.
Yeah, the mother.
They should have been more concerned about the daughter than the son.
Yeah, the mother and it really how it destroyed the family. Like. The father ended up committing suicide. You got to watch it. It's, how what Mike did, and the mother's complicit in it too. And because the father, he lost his family. They all kind of left him in Australia. They had an older son too who was down there too, and basically just moved and the father was in Australia. He lost his mind, ended up hanging himself. His parents, who's still alive, the grandparents, they don't like the mother. Because that was their son, and they saw what happened, and they say on the documentary, that bitch destroyed the family. All for getting her son. And the mother even takes blame, like, I feel horrible. I just didn't, So I tell you just a quick story. So when they first got to Neverland, they spent the night. They hang out, they hang with Mike for a couple of days, and then Mike somehow suggested to them that they should go to the Grand Canyon, take a trip to the Grand Canyon. He'll pay for. Go see the Grand Canyon, but leave Wade here with me.
Oh,
Wade is 7 years old.
Come on,
and
man.
they agreed to it. This what I'm saying. So The mother said, where we come from, you don't even think about pedophilia and stuff like that. We didn't even, okay. So they went to Grand Canyon for 5 days. They went to Grand Canyon for 5 days and left Wade there at Neverland with Michael Jackson. Wade is 7 years old. Michael Jackson is his idol. So he's like, yeah, I want to stay, you know what I mean? But Mike knew what the fuck he was doing, you know what I mean? He had other kids too, but he kept them all. You got to watch it, but, It's like I said, I see people online. It's funny on my timeline. it's funny how most of my white followers on Facebook, they like the Michael, that's disgusting. That he was a pedophile. The Latinos, most of them like, yeah, he's a pedophile. Like my black followers on Facebook, like 30% of them like me, like, yeah. And then 70% of them are like, nah, Mike ain't do that shit. That's some bullshit, man. They trying to take my man down.
Yeah, that's the way I feel. I don't believe. It's hard for me to believe that shit. It's hard for me to believe it, man. It was disgusting to me. I couldn't even watch that shit. It's hard for me to believe that shit.
But you have to. If you watch both of them, I think you'll come to a better understanding of how everything happened. Some of the stuff I see online, some of the people defending Mike. The kid, it's two kids, but I'm concentrating on Wade, because Wade, I don't know if you got to this part in the documentary. Once he got a little older, once he became 18, he became one of the top choreographers in the world. Like he did NSYNC tour, he did Britney Spears. Like he was in demand. Like he had basically, because once you got a little, Mike left you alone once you got a certain age. He won't like them a certain, you know what I mean? But him and Mike stayed cool with each other. Like they stayed cool. You know, he didn't tell his family or nothing. He didn't tell his family or nothing. So now he's 18, 19. Him and Mike still cool. They not hanging out like they used to, but they still have a relationship. Like he said
how could he have a relationship if he was being molested?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's a mental thing. It's like you have to get over. It took him a while to come out to his family. He didn't come out to his family. You'll watch all this in the documentary. He didn't come out to his family till he was married actually. I think he came out to his family like 22, and he had got married. And he finally admitted to his wife what happened to him. At the time, when he's 18, 19, now he's one of the top choreographers in the world. They show him with NSYNC, they show him with Britney Spears. Mike used to call him up because Mike had a session with Britney Spears and just wanted to ask him like how she is, stuff like that. And so they stayed cool, and he actually, and this is what a lot of people using against him.
Yeah, how you gonna be cool?
At Mike's court case, he actually went in, he was actually brought in as a witness and got on stand and said, Mike, I hung with Mike when I was a kid. Mike ain't do nothing to me. So a lot of people using that, saying, well, because during the trial, he talks about that, he said he didn't want to testify, but you look at his career at that time. At that time, he's one of the hottest choreographers in the world. Like he's got a lot of shit going on. So for him to go into that courtroom and talk about what happened, it would have, you know what I mean? He just didn't want to, because he had all this going on. And he talks about his mind state was, first thing, I wasn't ready. And then I got all this going on. And he even said, I still had love for Michael. Even, it's kind of, as crazy as it is, I still had kind of love for him.
I bet.
And he said, so yes, I got on the stand and testified that nothing, he never did anything to me all the times we hung out when I was a kid. He said, I just, at that time, with my career, I just didn't want to, because that, at that time I was a hot choreographer. If I did that, now I become the choreographer that Michael, you know what I mean? Then your whole life, at that age, at 19, so I just didn't want to deal with it.
Okay, so then, but he deal with it now.
Yeah. Now he's able
to deal with it.
He's
now.
able
it
to
won't
deal
affect
with
his career anymore.
Well, I mean, he saw, he had to go. This was a lot. He had to come out to his family, and that's a show. When he first told his mom what happened, like when he came out to his wife, he came out to his mother. He was 22, and his mother, she really was fucked up over it because she felt, which she rightfully should, that she was complicit in it. Like, I let him stay with Mike. And
yeah, come on, man.
You know what I mean? Then when he came out to his sister, she was there, his older. And then remember, they still dealing with their father committing suicide. So a lot of them linked that into the mother destroying the family for Michael, and Michael ended up molesting our family member anyway. And so like it's a lot of family members don't fuck with the mother like that. Even the son they break it down in the documentary. He has issues with his mother.
I wonder how come none of these kids were black. Michael was.
Oh, Mike had a type. Mike ain't like he. If you see the kid, and it's funny because.
So he only liked white boys.
He only liked white.
Oh, okay.
It's funny because at one point they went back to Australia and then they came back. The mom moved back, and when they came back, Mike had another boy hanging with him. So when they flew back, he thought it was going to things be, because he was about 13 now, 12, 13, and Mike had another boy basically looked just like him, basically replaced them. So they got to, so imagine that he said, and the kids, imagine a 13-year-old. I'm seeing another little boy that Mike found, and he said it really fucked me up because I found out the boy was also Australian too. So Mike found another Australian boy. Another defense that a lot of people are saying about Michael, a lot of his defenders. Well, Macaulay Culkin testified that he never did nothing to him. Corey Feldman testified that he never did. Webster testified, well, I mean, if you watch this documentary, you'll see he didn't, first thing, he wasn't interested in already famous people because it's hard for him to manipulate you and your family. Because you famous, you got money. Yeah. He wanted families like that family that, you know, look at him, you know what I mean? So he wasn't interested in, and he wasn't interested in Webster because you see the white boys, it was all white boys on there.
Yeah, like black boys. Huh? Okay, that's how
he definitely had it tight, man.
And see, I mean, shit. Yeah, nothing, because we ain't gonna leave our kid nowhere for no 5 days.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't give a fuck how broke we are. We still ain't gonna leave him for 5. Like, what? We going to the Grand Canyon and leave Junior? Hell fucking no.
And we actually gonna play. Actually, Cat Williams hipped us to this. Not now, Paul, but we gonna play it later on. Cat Williams hipped us to a lot of this shit like years ago. Cat Williams, we gonna play that because it's really relevant today. Let's read some of the Twitter. You know, he has his defenders, he has his people who think he's a piece of shit. Man, fuck Michael Jackson. That's one. A lot of stuff is in Spanish. What I got the Spanish? This goes to show you how I see a lot of similarities between Michael Jackson and R. Kelly. And that's true because you see how Michael would do was same thing R. Kelly did was he separates you from your family. He tried to turn you against your family or turn the family against each other. And he kind of turned that mother against the husband. You watch it all, and that's kind of what R. Kelly did with a lot of the girls. It's a grooming thing, man.
Oh,
Michael Jackson never touched those kids.
This is hard for me to believe, man. I can't. And then I can't roll with this, man. He dead. He can't say nothing. He can't speak up for himself. Why did they even make this documentary? Who let them film new shit out at Neverland? How the fuck did this even happen?
That did look like some new stuff.
Yeah, it was some new shit. Who let him out there? What the fuck was Jermaine and these? Now I see Jermaine.
One of the Jacksons probably let him in.
No, I seen them talking about they protesting this shit. But how the fuck they let this fly, man?
The Jackson estate is fighting dirty. You know, they put out his concert film. Did you hear about this? Like the same time this was first thing they suing HBO. I don't know how that's going.
Yeah, but how can
the day that this premiered, the Jackson estate made Michael Jackson's concert like one of his most famous concerts. They made it free on YouTube. Like the same time this premiered, and then the next day they made another concert. So they like counter programming this, but ain't nobody listen. People can watch YouTube anytime. They trying to. Let's go back to Twitter. Michael Jackson is a sick fuck, and I don't care how much I used to love his music. Fuck that dude. I'm glad he's dead.
Aww.
Okay, I don't know. But listen, that's another thing. Separating the man from the music. We get there with R. Kelly. I was just at a party not too long ago. They played Step on the Name of Love, and somebody went up to the DJ and cut it off. Like, you know, people, you know what I mean? Like, I can separate the music. Like, I'm still going to listen to Michael Jackson. Yes, I believe he molested kids, but I can separate the music from the man. I can still listen to R. Kelly. I can separate the art from the dude. I'm still going to listen to Michael Jackson.
I've listened to Michael Jackson after hearing these things, but I still don't believe it. But the R. Kelly, I did quit listening. It ain't like, I mean, I haven't listened to R. Kelly song in years. You know.
Speaking of music, 3 major radio stations pull Michael Jackson music, citing child abuse claims and leaving Neverland. I wonder if that's going to be. Yeah, I guess a lot of music programmers going to have to. What they going to think? Are they going to? I don't think all of them going to stop playing this music. Just finished watching Leaving Neverland, and it's disturbing to say the least. I personally believe everything these boys are saying. I also got a weird vibe from Michael Jackson. I've always got a weird vibe from Michael Jackson.
Motherfucker, like they know him.
Jesse Smollett, R. Kelly, and now Michael Jackson. Rough couple weeks coverage for black celebs. We need an Oprah interview with Obama to shift the narrative. Let's talk about Oprah. You know, Oprah's behind this. Like, I didn't know this. Like, she's like a producer or something. And after it's over, she's a producer on it. And after it's over, she does a Q&A. I didn't watch the Q&A, but she does a Q&A with the 2 guys. Like, she has them.
Oh, yeah, man, I didn't know that too.
Yeah, Oprah believes Wade Robson and James Safechuck. Oprah sat down with Michael Jackson's accuser after the second half of HBO's. Yeah, she sits down for an hour discussion. I didn't watch it, but yeah, she's a producer on it or something like that. What you think about that, Oprah? Oprah is.
Man, I'm kind of now. I'm at a loss for words. I can't believe that she would be. Why would she be a part of such a thing? I mean, they can make that shit on their own. Why did she have to get involved with that project? I don't get it. I don't understand it. I mean, why? Mm-hmm. I mean, why? Like, what the fuck for? Like, I mean, even if in her heart of mind she believed that Michael Jackson was guilty of messing with little boys back in the days when he, if she believes that, I can see. But
right.
But to go be part of a project against another black person with such horrific shit, I don't. Yeah. I mean, even like I say, even if I can't be a part of that. I can't be a part. Right. You know what? I might understand it a little bit more if this was Oprah's first project and she had been starving for years and like came up on this information and said, fuck this, I got to get it out here and I got to get my name out there with this shit because it's the truth and I'm going to do that. But Oprah's already she's a billionaire. Why even be a part of this? Like, what did she benefit by being a part of this?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
Why?
That's a good question. I don't know if OWN has something to do with this. I know it's on HBO, but I don't know if.
Okay, let's look at it like that then. Okay, let's just say, out of all the people in the world that would have jumped on, out of all the white people in the world, in entertainment, in the business that would have jumped on a chance to have a Michael Jackson documentary with such horrific shit being said by people who supposedly went through it, they could have got anybody they wanted. Right. Why did they go to her first?
Well, we don't know if they went to her or...
Somebody went to her. Or did she sit at the house and think, let me do a Michael Jackson documentary?
Or might have came... Well,
somebody had to bring it to her.
Yeah.
So out of all the people they could have... Nobody black brought it to her.
That's true.
Okay, so out of all the people that somebody white could have chose, why did they choose another black person?
Maybe that's a good question. Maybe they thought,
Oprah, know what they thought.
Oprah name brings.
Hold on, look, it ain't getting. Hold on. If you got two cats saying Michael Jackson fucked me when I was a child, you don't need nobody's name to bring it. Nigga, me and you could be the producers of it. Mm-hmm. You don't need no name. Why did they bring Oprah? Why did they go to her and say, Oprah, blah, here's this project. We want to do a documentary on Michael Jackson in Neverland and child molestation. And Oprah sat down and said, I'll be a part of this.
Yeah.
Why?
You know what? While we doing this, I'm gonna look. That's a very good question, Tobe. I'm gonna look it up and see what was her motivation. But let me here's on my Facebook page. Heather J said Mike loved children. Emotionally, he was a child. Because I hear this. It's another defense that. Well, because when people say, why is a grown man having sleepovers with little boys? One defense that they used was, well, Michael never had a childhood. He was just a big kid, and he just liked to be around, so he wanted to relive his childhood. Let me tell you, Tobe Hixx, I had a childhood too. As a 12, 13-year-old, my dream wasn't having sleepovers with other little boys. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand that defense that, he's doing this because...
You didn't need no sleepover. You was fucking pillows. You didn't need no sleepover, nigga.
But my thing is, I don't understand this defense that people use for, he was just a kid. Because you ask, what is a 35-year-old man doing having sleepovers with little boys? No little girls. It's not just, no little girls, just little boys. Oh, well, he was just, he never had his childhood. He's just trying to relive his childhood. Motherfucker,
hey,
you don't, the whole childhood consists of, if you can go back to when you was 12 and 13, the first thing you want to do is have a sleepover with other little boys. That don't equate.
I would just go back to hooping.
That's what I'm saying. That don't equate that. That you want to relive your childhood, so that means you want sleepovers with little boys.
But you kind of answering, just like you just said, why wouldn't he have little girls? Okay, then he know that's sick. Maybe he was reliving his childhood with boys. If he had little girls over there, then people really would have been, the spot would have been hotter. Like, you want to have my daughter over there? Oh, hell no. But that's why people felt comfortable, and that's probably why he didn't do anything wrong. That's what I'm saying. He didn't have little girls over. That's what makes it sound more believable in Michael's
No, what you
behalf.
talking about? If he like little boy, he likes boys. I mean, obviously, like R. Kelly like girls, like little girls. He like boys. So I mean, it's just.
He didn't like boys when he was fucking all them grown women.
What? Let's. You know what? We gotta set up that cat, because Cat gonna talk. Set up that Cat. What? Cat says that in this. Like, what relationship? Come on, Tobe Hixx. Let's keep it 100. What relationship Michael Jackson had that you actually believed?
I believe you. I believe he was fucking them bitches.
Who? What?
What's girl he was married to?
Priscilla Presley?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Mike wasn't. Listen, man. Mike, what? And that's another thing. And Kat says this. This is what I understand how a lot of black people trying to defend him. Mike did everything he could. Mike lived his life as he wanted to be a white woman. To me,
we understand that.
He wants us to believe that he stuck his black dick with black jeans, big nose, afro, the Jackson jeans, in a white pussy, and came out with white blonde kids. Like, come on, you think how your kids? He got 3 white kids. Come on, Tobe. That's like I stick my black dick in the white pussy and my kids come out blonde hair and blue eye. You be like, get the fuck out of here. No, get the fuck out of here. Let's Cat Williams been warning us about this. This was Cat's special on HBO. Cat talked about this. Cat, I gotta post that post. Cat Williams was telling us, see, everything Cat said was real. Motherfucker, if you want to attract little boys, amusement park at your house will make it happen. Motherfucker had a movie theater with all the candies and popcorn. You gotta watch the documentary, man. Some of the people online are telling, Mommy, Sister Earth said, and hell yeah, the parents definitely responsible. Yeah, that's true. Cat said, he didn't try that with black babies because they wouldn't be having. That's right, Drew. I won't believe anything without proof. Has anyone came forward personally and spoke up? Okay,
I'm with you.
Come on, blood. We all know he was a child molester. Come on, Drew. That's Drew was saying, man. Come on, blood. We all know he was a child molester. Shout out to Drew.
That's brazy, man. Brazy.
Hey, Drew. He said that's brazy. Come on, that was a publicity stunt, and we all know it will come. Okay. He had chicks. Mommy said he had chicks. Mommy, what chicks he had? Parents are just to blame as MJ in my book. That's true. And we know Michael likes the women. Please. Please. Predators groom their victims and families to get what they want, and that's what they did, yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's, Predator. I forgot. He sent, so when remember the boy at one point went back to Australia? Him and Mike talked every day. Matter of fact, they talked over the phone a lot, but then they got to the fact Mike bought him a fax machine. Remember, this is the early 90s. Yeah. Mike bought him a fax machine, and Mike would fax him so the boy got all these Mike was just faxing the boy, just, stuff like, how you doing today? Like, he had a fax, come on, man, this is 90. Mike was 35. He bought him a fax machine. The family said the fax machine we put it in the living room, and it was like papers everywhere because Mike would just fax. Him and the kid would just fax each other all goddamn day. The letters and faxes he sent them might be the icing on the cake, bro, and I'm a huge MJ fan. I'm a huge MJ fan, too. But what's real is real. My nephew is on here. Zaki, go to sleep. What are you doing up, man? Go to sleep. So and I understand, what it is. The same thing we felt about Cosby. Cosby is my hero, but it is what it is, man. Cosby, I mean, where there's too much smoke is fire.
I didn't know Oprah was, oh, man.
Yeah.
Oprah's
behind it, yeah. Oprah's behind it.
Yeah, man. This is the divide and conquer.
You think
type
so?
Shit. Hell yeah. Out of all the people they could have went and talked to about the project, it had to be Oprah. Out of all the people. And it's one thing we know about white people is that when they have a money-making deal, they go tell their other white friends. I'm not saying none of the white people come tell black people, but for the most part, whoever had the idea of this project, I know they knew somebody white that they could take it to who could produce it just like Oprah did.
Mm-hmm.
But they like, no, let's get Oprah involved. She produces shit. This to make black people even feel worse.
Mm-hmm.
Now you saying this about Michael and all these allegations and all this shit, and now Oprah's even saying it.
Yeah. Drew said, Drew, we talked about this. So if it's true, are you guys going to not listen to his music anymore? Absolutely not. Absolutely, yes, I am going to listen to his music, Drew, because I can separate the artist, the man, from the art, and I'll still listen to R. Kelly music.
I ain't fucking with R. Kelly, but.
Now, how you believe R. Kelly, but you don't believe this Michael Jackson shit?
I'm not fucking with R. Kelly's music. But the point of it is like, this shit getting so wild that in a minute, if we stop listening to everybody's shit who's alleged or something, it won't be shit to listen to.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's true. It's funny because the John Wayne shit just came up, which everybody, the John Wayne did an interview like in the 70s. John Wayne was a crazy racist.
Yeah.
So somebody found his, I don't know, it's funny how white people, I guess, found it because Public Enemy had said it, years ago, told us that.
Well, John Wayne, he wasn't holding it back.
So, he did a Playboy interview like in 72, and he was clearly... so people trying to, the generation he grew up in and stuff because John Wayne, in the interview, he said, it's good that we took the land from the Indians. Like, they wasn't doing nothing with it. And we white people, we should take the Indians. He said something about black people, too, like we're inferior and stuff like that. So now they thinking about the John Wayne Airport. Yeah. It was like discussion. It was on the Mason 710, Mason in Ireland. There was discussion, should they change the name of the John Wayne Airport? And then, like Mason was saying, you just open up a can of worms with that because you can really just find anything about,
everybody. We got to start changing everything.
Yeah, so white people have to deal with John Wayne. Are they going to not watch a John Wayne movie? Or
and then how people going to say, well, that's the time he grew up in. Well, 400 years ago was the time the slave masters grew up in. Does that mean what they did was right?
Right.
That doesn't even fucking make sense.
So Drew said, but that's not right, bro. So if you were in prison and MJ was found guilty and was your roommate, are you going to fuck with him and take a risk of being friends with a child molester? What are you talking about, Drew? Because I said I would listen to his music. Like I can separate the art from the man. I believe he's a child molester, but I can listen to music. It's art. I can separate both of them.
Yo, plus Drew, ain't nobody. You're not gonna know about no child molesters in prison. They're not gonna put they're not gonna put somebody in your cell, Drew, that, hey, here's your new cellmate. He's convicted of child molestation. All right.
Well, Michael Jackson would he have a cellmate?
He would have been private. They couldn't have put him in cell nobody.
They would have fucked the shit out of him.
But I'm saying, and they
would have been fighting to see who bitch he is.
And everybody, any child molester, you can't put in a cell with somebody and people know, because once they do that shit, it's a wrap. I remember when I was in prison, we was hooping every day. It was a motherfucker that was hooping with us, playing dominoes, spades, cool and shit. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden he went to court. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden that same day we was watching the news and they showed him at court. This kid was charged with raping an 80-year-old woman.
God damn.
And we was kicking it with him every day, just booling. And
so when y'all in there, y'all don't know each other charges.
How we know? Nigga ain't gonna tell you the truth. You think a nigga gonna tell you, hey, yeah, what you in there for? Oh, yeah, attempted rape.
Well, the public can find out and the public can tell. Like, I guess everything is online now.
No, they keep that shit quiet, though, because they have to for their safety. So
for child molest, only child molest.
And rapists and all that shit, because they get beat up.
Okay.
And so then when we seen dude's picture and knew it was him, they didn't bring him back to that jail. They automatically had to put him in another jail. Mm-hmm. Because now we know who he is.
And y'all would have fucked him up?
Yeah.
Because he raped the 89-year-old? Because you think that's my grandmother or something like that.
Yeah, people think that shit. And especially the people who got hella time. They don't have nothing. I mean, you got cats with life. Somebody come through as a rapist, they gonna put hands on them and do something to them. They ain't got nowhere to go. They don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, shit, can you imagine Michael show up to your cell? Yeah, I'd be like, what the fuck? But no, they'd have never done that shit. But... yeah, it's tough, man. Shit, because like I say, I mean, if we look at it like that with everybody in a minute, we ain't gonna have shit to listen to or whatever. But where are the white child molester documentaries? Nobody has an answer for that, huh? This is Hollywood.
Yeah.
They can make shit. You can shoot a movie on your iPhone. Ain't nobody documenting these white molesters. Why they shit ain't coming out? Why Oprah ain't backing none of they motherfucking documentaries?
Mm-hmm.
Why they didn't go to Oprah and say, hey, once you get behind a documentary on Harvey Weinstein, hey, once you get behind a documentary on Sandusky, why she ain't behind those documentaries?
Well, Sandusky,
I know you don't have the answer to why she ain't, but I'm just like, they got the answer.
Yeah, Sandusky. I watched the movie, and I mean, he ain't coming out. He ain't coming home. But I hear what you. I definitely.
And I ain't always trying to make it a black and white thing, but man, sometimes we gotta just look at these things in the way they exposed to us and at the timing of it. They just bombarded us. Nigga, there was no Black History Month this month. They just took the shit from us. And I'm not saying white people took it from us. I'm just saying the situations, smile it, whatever the fuck. I didn't even hardly know who that nigga was before he faked this shit anyway. But
all right, so I'm going to get into a Forbes. Somebody sent me, and this is kind of this article, kind of Tobe. Your so Drew said, so basically you won't rock with Kelly, but MJ. Explain why, blood. Explain, explain, yeah. So basically you won't rock with R. Kelly, but MJ. Explain that.
Because I believe R. Kelly did the shit because I seen the videos of him pissing on the young girl in those situations. But I'm not convinced that Michael did this shit yet. I'm not convinced. Maybe I need to do a little more research and look at some more shit. But I'm just not convinced. I feel like, I mean, you gotta, between Michael and Bill Cosby, I mean, these stories come out in these situations. This bringing down the biggest black people that we've ever had. R. Kelly's just big to, I mean, okay, yeah, I mean, he's mainstream, but you know, Cosby and Michael were mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't believe it on Michael yet. I'm not convinced. The day when I'm convinced, then I'll quit listening to his shit.
All right, so this is an article somebody sent me, and it's an article really defending. And it kind of breaks down, but you know,
this is a money maker by these people.
This is from Forbes. There's a writer in Forbes. What's the writer name? His name is Joe Vogel. He's a Hollywood and entertainment writer. So he starts off with a quote. This is Wade Robson, the choreographer, one of the main guys, because the documentary centers on these two kids, and he's one of them. The one I was talking about. This was a tribute he wrote to his friend after Michael Jackson died. Michael Jackson changed the world, more personally, my life forever. He is the reason I dance, the reason I make music, and one of the main reasons I believe in the pure goodness of humankind. He has been a close friend of mine for 20 years. His music, his movement, his personal words of inspiration, encouragement, and his unconditional love will live inside me forever. It's funny that what he said happened in some of these words.
Yeah.
I will miss him immeasurably, but I know that he is now at peace and enchanted the heavens with a melody and a moonwalk. So he wrote this in 2009 as a tribute to Michael. Robson was 27 years old at the time. 4 years earlier, he testified at Jackson's 2005 trial as an adult that nothing sexual ever happened between them. Prior to the trial, Robson hadn't seen Jackson for years and was under no obligation to be a witness for the defense. He faced a withering cross-examination, understanding the penalty of perjury for lying under oath, but Robson admittedly confidently and credibly asserted that nothing sexual ever happened. What changed between now and then?
Let me tell you something. You just said exactly my motherfucking point. Okay? There is no way humanly possible that somebody could be fucking you as a child and then you ever utter all those words out. I don't give a fuck if it's at their funeral, at their court, nowhere. There is no way someone's going to be fucking you at age 7 and you're going to feel that way about them. It's impossible.
But you have to watch the documentary, Tobe.
No,
he kind of explains what you got to really see what his situation was at that time.
I understand that. I mean, I can see that point, but that's not my point. My point ain't his situation. My point is that anybody as a young boy, and you know what? He's not even gay because he married a woman. Yeah. So if this young boy, right, would have been fucked by Michael Jackson and then grew up to be gay, I might even understand that more.
Right.
But you're going to be...
Both of the boys end up marrying women.
Okay, so now you're married to a woman, you got kids, so you're not gay, and you speaking that glowingly of a man who done violated you as a child. It's impossible.
All right, so let's and then, like I said, this article, you'll like it, how you feel about it. So what changed? I left off at what changed between then and now. So Michael was dead. He gave a glowing review. He went testified at his trial, and he was an adult at this time, so he wasn't a kid. So he said in 2001, Robson approached John Breaker. John Breaker is the co-executive of the Michael Jackson estate. He runs it. About directing the new Michael Jackson Cirque du Soleil Production 1. Robson admitted he wanted the job badly, but the estate ultimately chose someone else for the position. In 2012, Robson had a nervous breakdown triggered, he said, by an obsessive quest for success. His career, in his own words, began to crumble. That same year, with Robson's career, finances, and marriage in peril, he began shopping a book that claimed that he was sexually abused by Michael Jackson. No publisher picked it up. In 2013, Robson filed a $1.5 billion civil lawsuit creditors claim along with John Safechuck, that's the other kid in it, who also spent time with Jackson in the late 80s. Safechuck claimed he only realized he may have been abused when Robson filed this lawsuit. That lawsuit was dismissed by a probate court in 2017. In 2019, the Sundance Film Festival premiered a documentary based entirely on Robson and Safechuck's allegations. That's the one that we talking about. While the documentary is obviously emotionally disturbing given the content it presents, no new evidence or witnesses. The film director Dan Reed acknowledged not wanting to interview other key figures because it might complicate or compromise the story he wanted to tell. So a lot of people sending me this saying, hey, his career was down on the luck and stuff like that. But like I said, if you watch it, he kind of, explains. Now, they didn't get into all this about him wanting to direct a play or something like and stuff like that. But they did talk about the lawsuit that he did talk about that.
There is no way you're going to get fucked as a youngster for years and then say you had a great relationship of 20 years with somebody. Mm-hmm. It's impossible.
But I mean, if you're not ready to come out like that, if you're not mentally
that's not
ready.
my point. You don't have to come out and attack the person or say what they did, but I'm saying those glowing words would never, when somebody asks you about Michael Jackson, you just say, oh, he's cool. I enjoyed Neverland. Mm-hmm. And you keep it moving. You wouldn't sit up and say all this glowing shit about somebody who had violated you as a child for years?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're a grown man. And you know this man took advantage of you, but you ain't tried to put no hands on him. You ain't done nothing.
Right.
If somebody had violated me as a child like that, in those manners, strung me along, had me at their house, deceived my parents, made them feel comfortable, had me all alone, and then now I survived all of that. Mm-hmm. I'm a grown man, and I'm going to speak of that person as a friend.
This is what Stephanie...
Yeah, hold on. No,
go ahead. I hear exactly.
How could you do that? Mm-hmm. Do you think you could do that? If the same thing happened to you as a child?
I couldn't do, but you never know when somebody wants to come out and tell that story. I mean, that is something.
I ain't even talking about coming out.
But you're saying not to say anything,
just not to say nothing, or if they could get to Michael Jackson, try to kill his ass.
But I think remember he was a hot choreographer, but a lot of his being affiliated with Michael Jackson, I think helped him out, got him into some doors that he probably...
So it's okay to use Michael Jackson to get through some doors and he violated you. But now he's been dead for what? How long has it been? 10 years now? Now you're coming out with this shit. When he was alive, it could help you. It didn't matter that he fucked you.
No, listen, you get the bell for that. I hear. So you say more, if it happened, you should have just kept it to yourself, dealt with it on a private.
Yeah, you could have told the story when you wanted to. That's not my point. But I'm saying if it happened, you could never in your life speak glowingly of Michael Jackson in public. Mm-hmm. Once you've done that, you've lost me. Yeah. Because that man violated you from age 7 until you was a mid-teenager or whatever until he moved on to the next child when you came back at 13. So 6-7 years he violated you, and then now you're a grown man and you giving him praise.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
how about no comment?
That makes sense. I don't, like I said, I don't know if they financially they getting something financially off of this documentary. I'm not sure. I'll look it up.
Hey, look, hold on. I'll let you answer that. When have you known white people to work for free?
That's true. Stephanie Mills agrees with you, Tobe Hixx. She tweeted, "My sweet Michael Jackson was a kind, compassionate, loving person, never said an unkind thing about anyone. Leave him alone. This documentary is about nothing but money. The man is dead. Let him rest. I love Michael. Miss Winfrey, why would you continue to defame Mr. Jackson?"
That's what I'm saying. Why did she have to get involved? She could believe, like in her heart, she has a right to believe that these kids might be telling the truth. I don't have a problem with that. But why would you put your name behind this project when you don't need the money?
Yeah. DJ Vlad, he said, watching Leaving Neverland documentary, these two mothers really allowed their sons to continually sleep with Michael Jackson alone in his bedroom. They actually admitted this on camera. They should both be in prison or dead. I don't know what the dead part, but yeah. It's Chris D'Onofrio said, people say Michael Jackson fans are in denial. I'd say denial is ignoring 20 plus years of acquittals, no evidence, proven extortion, disgruntled ex-employees, failed book deals, dismissed lawsuits, and sworn by a documentary whose narrative is purposely one-sided. So they kind of agree with you. This documentary is unethical. If this documentary was about truth, how do they not interview Brett Barnes or Macaulay Culkin? How do you include the name of kids that said they were not molested by Michael Jackson? That Brett Barnes was another kid who hung out with Mike a lot back, but he wasn't part of the documentary. The other kids just spoke. Of course. They seen him around, but Brett Barnes has come out and said nothing happened.
Of course.
Nothing happened. Michael never did anything.
And what I'm saying is, man, is that you would never, you just couldn't do that. You couldn't say those things. And then if the other boys had been molested, now that they grown men, they would have told somebody by now, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's something. Both ways don't add up.
Comedian Anthony Jeselnik said, "This Finding Neverland documentary on HBO is insane. I always been a Michael Jackson fan, but I didn't know he made music too." That's Anthony Jeselnik, comedian.
Funny.
So I'm not watching that Michael Jackson HBO documentary, and I won't be watching that Oprah after show. I don't agree with it, and I feel everyone involved are greedy, lying vultures. So it's,
Mike, that's what I'm saying. It's like I'm so disappointed with Oprah, man, that she would get behind this at this stage in her career.
We're going to do two more, then we'll close it out. Michael Jackson documentary on HBO, Leaving Neverland, is extremely disturbing. I believe the victims. And then last one, Michael Jackson is a child molester. I don't see enough people talking about Leaving Neverland. I don't see enough people. That's everybody talking about. And those that do are desperate to discredit the victims. But if you watch all three parts, it's undeniable. It's one of the best documentaries I've ever seen on the topic. Love to the victims. Here go one on Oprah. Oprah Winfrey was never Michael Jackson's real friend. He invited her ass into his home, gave her an honest interview back in 1993, and now years later she decides to attach her name to Leaving Neverland. Ain't nobody watching that trash documentary. Tune into American Idol.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. See, I couldn't watch that shit. I couldn't watch it, man.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't know Oprah, man. You took me to a whole nother level with the Oprah shit.
Yeah. So,
I can't believe she did that, man.
It's just unfortunate, man.
They didn't go to Spike Lee with that shit.
Drew said he was dangerous.
He was dangerous.
I believe MJ was trying to keep it in the closet, honestly. No need to scream, Toby, LOL. Of course HBO paid them the loot. That's Oprah is out of my life now. That Oprah is out of my life now. She's not another part of me anymore. That's
man.
Michael Jackson reference. We get it, Drew.
Yeah. In real talk though, Oprah, I can see her believing. Like, even if she really believes this in her heart, I just don't know how she. I just don't know how she attached herself to this and why. I don't know what. Why, Oprah?
So yeah, but so Tobe, I don't know if you said you can't watch. I don't know if you're gonna go back.
I might go back and watch it.
Yeah, I think you should go back and watch, and I think you I just would love to hear your how you feel about it after you watch it, man. But we off on that, man. Whatever it is, man, just listen. If you're listening to this, watch your kids, protect your kids, hug them, tell them you love them. And just keep an eye on them because it's a lot of stuff.
And take them to Disneyland, not these private motherfucking amusement parks.
All right, Tobe Hixx. I wasn't here last week. I called in over the phone, but I wasn't here last week, and and I know you kind of guys got to touch on it. But we're gonna talk about our comedian, one of our comedian peers. I know we kind of spoke about it last week, and that's Brody Stevens, the loss of him, and I didn't really know Brody like that, but I knew of his reputation. And I don't know if it was a story I was reading online. A comedian said they were at the Laugh Factory. It was a showcase, and it was all agents in there. And he said the comedians was bombing one after another because it was, them agents showcase. Yeah. They don't, they stuffy like a motherfucker. If you listen to this, showcases are kind of like important. That's when agents or networks put together showcase.
You might have a 7 to 10 minute set.
Yeah, and they just watch comedians, and it's like the combine. Yeah. It's like the NFL combine for comedians.
Just in one night.
Yeah, one night though. Yeah, so at the Laugh Factory, comedians was bombing after one another. They was just letting the agents intimidate them, and the agents, and they were saying the agents, half of them don't really even want to be there. The agency told them they had to be there. They really, looking at their phones and they watching like, when is shit gonna be over? They said Brody time was up, and comedians had been bombing, and Brody got up there, and I guess there's a term called hip pocketing. That's when an agent represents you but kind of don't sign you. They kind of just hip pocket you.
Yeah.
So they said Brody started his act off. He went up there and was like, "Hey man, something about fuck y'all, man. I hip pocket y'all." And he said it just broke the tension in the air. Like, y'all up here treating these comedians like this. I hip pocket all of y'all. Like, and he said and it just lightened up everything. Everybody after him had a good set.
Yeah.
So that's the talented comedian he was. Unfortunately, he ended his life. It's just industry is something, man. It's just we've obviously me and you have ups and downs and this stuff like that, and it's it's just people just think
it's very sad. I mean, this is crazy to say, but I have told hundreds of people this in my lifetime. I've told a lot of people that if they would have lived my life, they would have killed themselves.
Yeah, that's true. Real talk.
If they'd have lived my life, they'd have killed themselves. And not to take nothing away from Brody, we so saddened by that. And the thing is that hopefully, if you're feeling down or whatever, no matter what the situation is, you have someone you could talk to.
Yeah.
If you don't, give us a call at the Dope Dealer Podcast, 818-335-2065. And
talk to us, yeah.
Yeah, it's one thing I always heard years ago, and I believe for part of the problem is that if you have problems that money can solve, then you don't really have a problem. So that eliminates half the stress right there. And a lot of people, say like, well, damn, Brody was successful. He was making good money. He had a few movie appearances.
That don't mean nothing. We think
that. No, it don't. And then, like I heard Bill Maher say years ago, everybody's dream made the headline, the Improv and the Funny Bones every weekend. Some people have bigger dreams, and it doesn't work out. It's tough to take in. And I'll give you a quick thing. We're going to let this go. But what people don't realize is that as comedians, in the regular work world, you go, you have a job interview. If you get the job, in some people's case, it's a profession that they love, and they're going to stick with it for 20, 30 years. They might change companies, this and that. But for the most part, they're secure in what they're doing. As a comedian, you have a job interview every day of your life, no matter what, no matter how far you are, no matter how established you are. Kevin Hart still has job interviews. I mean, they're a lot easier for him now than they used to be, but he still has them, and so I mean, can you imagine if you just had to go into your job every single day and interview and hope to keep your job? That's a lot of stress,
That's
man.
a lot of stress.
People don't realize it, and that's a lot of stress right there.
Yeah, that's true, man. So, yeah, it's just say, listen, man, we dealing with a lot. To all our comedian brothers and sisters, our peers out there, man, we love you guys, man. Listen,
stay strong.
Yeah, and get help. I mean, if you need to talk to somebody, talk to somebody. It's a lot of, SAG has help, can give you help, man, and we just know it's tough, man. People get out here and think they're gonna make it quickly, and then when it doesn't happen, we know it's a mental strain on people, man. You thinking how your family think of you back home, and you struggling to get the rent, but listen, you can talk to somebody, man. Go get some help. Please get some help, man. And we'll end it on that. We're going to end it on our 10 count. We do a 10 count we didn't get a chance to do this, so we're going to do a 10 count for comedian Brody Stevens.
Yeah, you had the bell.
Rest in peace, my brother. Rest in peace, man. Well, we appreciate you guys listening, man. Once again, all the armed forces, man, we love you guys. Listen, you can follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, Dope Dealers Podcast. Dope Dealers Podcast. You can follow me. I'm at Jamal Doman, JamalDoman.
Tobe Hixx, TobeHixx. Keep subscribing to the podcast.
Yes.
The rate and review.
Spread the word.
It means a lot. We're moving up the podcast charts. We need your help, though. Tell a friend. Like I said, subscribe, rate, review.
We're looking for sponsors. Any sponsors out there? Holla at your boy. We're looking for sponsors and come on aboard. One of the rising podcasts, man. We got so please come aboard, man. We're looking for sponsors. If you're looking for comedians to book, me and Tobe Hixx are veteran comedians with many, many TV and movie credits. So book us, man. We at Jamal Doman, at Tobe Hixx. Book us, man, and call us up, talk to us, man, and bring us to your club, your city, your group, your school, whatever. We coming out with the jokes. We got the jokes.
And this month, March 21st through the 24th, I will be at Pechanga Casino all weekend. Anybody in the area, my folks in San Diego and people in LA, you got a couple weeks to plan this. You don't have nothing to do. Let's get this spring started. The spring break started out the right way. March 21st through the 24th at the U.S.'s most nicest casino. It was voted. Right?
Yeah. Pechanga's real, man.
Yeah, man.
They did that rebuilding. Yeah, they fixed it up.
Yeah, come on out to Pechanga and hang out.
Definitely, man. So listen, subscribe to us, rate us, review us. You know how we do, man. Shout out to our sponsors this week, Doman Cheap Movers. Doman Cheap Movers, the number one moving company in San Fernando Valley. Doman Cheap Movers. Check us out, Doman Cheap Movers. And yeah, we love you guys, man. Anything else? Anything else?
It.
We love you guys, man. Listen, hold your kids tight, man. Dope Dealer Podcast.